Here's your lightly paraphrased version, keeping the original meaning, pacing, emotional tone, and storytelling style intact, while only making subtle changes to wording and sentence structure. Brother, today we are stepping into a place that is far from light-hearted, far from casual, and certainly not meant for the faint of heart. What I am about to reveal carries tremendous weight. Before we go any further, I want to recognize the courage that brought you here. You saw the warning at the beginning, yet you chose to remain, to listen, and to face the painful truths that most men spend their entire lives avoiding. That kind of courage doesn't seek attention. It is quiet, unwavering, and incredibly powerful. This is not entertainment. We are not here to discuss tricks, charm, seduction techniques, or recycled relationship advice. We are here to confront the truth, a painful, raw, and unfiltered truth. The kind of truth that can shake everything you once believed about love, trust, and loyalty. A truth capable of reopening old wounds, scars you believed had already healed. But sometimes, brother, true growth requires exactly that. It asks you to revisit those wounds so you can finally understand what they truly mean. What I am about to share is not an exaggerated story created for views. It is not fiction. It comes from research, from real pain, and from the silent voices of men who carried their suffering alone. For days, my team and I have gathered these stories and realities, not for fame, not for numbers, but for men like you, men who silently fight battles because no one ever prepared them for the truth. Society expects you to stay strong, keep smiling, and continue moving forward, even when your heart is breaking in ways that no one can see. So let this moment become your awakening. If you are still here, quietly say these words to yourself. I see the truth. Because whether you are already married or hope to be one day, the very core of your identity as a man is built upon one sacred principle: loyalty. Your loyalty is your crown. It is your honor. It is the foundation of the man you are. But now comes the difficult question. What if the person who received that loyalty never truly deserved it? I don't say this to break your spirit, brother. I say it to protect you before we move deeper into this storm. Give me just 30 seconds. Not for me, not for my ego, but for something greater than either of us. Out there, beyond the streets we walk every day, there are lives suffering in complete silence. Creatures crying through the night, not because they are sick, but because they are hungry. Cats wandering abandoned streets. Dogs left behind with no one to care for them. Forgotten animals with no voice of their own, yet still God's creations, deserving kindness, mercy, and compassion. I don't come from wealth. I don't have expensive studios or powerful corporate sponsors supporting this work. What I truly have is you, your support, your presence, your strength. You have carried this mission farther than even my own family ever could. Together, we have built something meaningful, not for applause, not for recognition, but to help feed these silent and defenseless souls. Even the cost of a simple cup of coffee can help keep one of these innocent creatures alive tonight. If your heart is moved, then follow it. Not because you feel pressured, but because compassion is enough. That alone is more than enough. Now take a deep breath, because from this point forward, brother, we are walking straight into the fire. November 6th, 1948. Chicago, M25. A 34-year-old man named David Miller was unknowingly stepping into a chapter of life that would leave a permanent scar upon his soul. He wasn't rich. He wasn't famous. He was simply an ordinary man with a heart overflowing with loyalty. That same year he married Claire Evans, the woman he believed would remain beside him for the rest of his life. It wasn't an arranged marriage, nor was it shallow or based on appearances. It was sincere, profound, and genuine, the kind of love poets spend entire lifetimes trying to put into words. Claire would often whisper to him, "David, you are everything I want for the rest of my life." Those words became the foundation of his hope, his faith, and the future he dreamed of creating. But words, my friend, have a way of fading. Promises can slowly lose their meaning, and what appears strong and unbreakable on the surface can quietly collapse beneath hidden truths. As the months passed, small arguments gradually began to appear, not because of betrayal or cruelty, but because of ordinary life, bills, dinner, minor disagreements. Yet those tiny cracks slowly exposed something much deeper, a silent, emotional distance, a growing space between two souls that were once meant to walk side by side. David worked tirelessly, balancing two jobs from morning until night. He wasn't wealthy in money, but he possessed so